Once upon a time, in the village of Hokparabi, beneath the towering baobab trees, where the winds carried the whispers of the ancestors and the river's song echoed through the valleys, there lived the village untouched by time, where every stone and leaf held the secrets of the earth. The village of Hokparabi, surrounded by dense forests and the glistening river Imiri, its waters deep and mysterious. Legends had always swirled around the river, tales of spirits, creatures, and powers that could be summoned or unleashed. But none were more terrifying than the stories of the mermaids, deceitful beings who lured unsuspecting men into their watery depths, never to be seen again. Ederomo, a fisherman known for his strength and skill, had spent his life on the river. He had heard the tales countless times from elders as they gathered by the evening fires, but he had never seen any of the river's supernatural residents. For him, the river was a source of sustenance, not fear. Yet that all changed one fateful evening. It was dusk when Ederomo first saw her. The air was thick with the scent of rain, and the sun was setting, casting a golden glow on the river's surface. As Ederomo prepared his nets for the night, he spotted a figure at the edge of the river. She stood with her back to him, her long black hair cascading down her shoulders, shimmering in the fading light. She turned, revealing a face so beautiful that it took his breath away. Her skin was smooth, with an otherworldly sheen, and her eyes were a piercing green, more vivid than any color Ederomo had seen. She wore a simple dress, but it clung to her like the fabric was part of her skin. "Who are you?" Ederomo asked, stepping closer, his heart pounding. "My name is Chimiri," she replied, her voice soft and melodic. Ederomo blinked, surprised at her name. "Chimiri. Like the river goddess?" She smiled, her lips curling ever so slightly. "Yes. When I was born, my beauty was said to rival that of Chimiri herself. So they named me after her, in honor of the river goddess's grace and charm." Ederomo gazed at her in awe, and for a moment, her explanation eased his mind. The name felt right for someone as enchanting as her. Her words cast a spell over him, and the meaning behind her name only added to the growing fascination he felt for this mysterious woman by the river. Without thinking further, he agreed to help her. Little did he know, this was the beginning of a perilous journey. Over the next few days, Chimiri visited Ederomo often. She always appeared at dusk, and their conversations were long and intoxicating. She told him stories of far-off places, of adventures and treasures, weaving her words into a tapestry of wonder. And Ederomo, captivated by her beauty and mystery, fell deeply in love. He brought her gifts, shells from the river, wildflowers from the forest, and she accepted them with a smile that made his heart race. Soon, the people of Hokparabi began to whisper. They noticed how often Ederomo was absent, how he seemed to grow more distant, as if his mind was always somewhere else, lost in a dream. Ederomo's close friend, Ogaga, the elder of Hokparabi, saw the changes in him. Ogaga was a wise man, respected for his deep knowledge of the old ways and the secrets of the river. He approached Ederomo one evening after seeing him return from the river with a dazed look on his face. "Ederomo," Ogaga said, his voice firm, "something is not right. You have been spending too much time by the river. There are dangers in that water, spirits who play with the minds of men. Tell me, who have you been seeing?" Ederomo hesitated, but he could not hide the truth from the elder. "Her name is Chimiri," he confessed. "She is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. I think I am in love with her." Ogaga's eyes darkened. "A woman who appears at dusk by the river? Ederomo, you must listen to me carefully. I have heard of creatures like this. They are not human, though they may take the form of one. They are mermaids, spirits of the river. Their beauty is a mask for their wickedness." Ederomo's heart raced. Could this be true? Could the woman he loved be something else entirely? Determined to know the truth, Ederomo began to watch Chimiri more closely. One evening, he followed her after she bid him farewell. He trailed her through the woods, keeping to the shadows. As she reached the river's edge, something extraordinary happened. Her body shimmered, and before his eyes, her legs merged into a long scaled tail. She slipped into the water with an ease that left Ederomo speechless, disappearing beneath the surface. His heart pounded in his chest as he realized the truth: Chimiri was no woman. She was a mermaid, and her beauty was a trap. Ederomo returned to the village in a panic. He went straight to Ogaga, who listened calmly as the fisherman explained what he had seen. "I told you, Ederomo," Ogaga said in a grave voice. "These creatures live to deceive. They lure men into their world beneath the water, and once there, they never return. She plans to take you with her." Ederomo's stomach churned with fear. He had been so blinded by love that he had failed to see the danger. "What do I do?" he asked, desperation in his voice. Ogaga thought for a moment. "There is a way to break her hold on you, but it will not be easy. You must confront her, reveal that you know her true nature, and reject her. But be warned, a mermaid scorned is more dangerous than any creature in the river. She will not let you go easily." That night, Ederomo prepared himself. He carried a small charm Ogaga had given him, made from the bones of an old fish, believed to protect against the magic of river spirits. As the sun set and Chimiri appeared once more, he felt the weight of the charm in his pocket and the heaviness of what was to come. She smiled at him, her eyes glowing in the twilight. "Ederomo," she said softly, "come with me. Let us leave this place and be together." Ederomo swallowed hard. "I know what you are, Chimiri," he said, his voice trembling. "I know you are a mermaid. You've been lying to me all this time." Her eyes flashed with something darker, something dangerous. "Ederomo," she said, her voice no longer sweet but sharp, "you don't understand. I truly love you. Just come with me to my realm beneath the river. You will be safe there, with me." Ederomo took a step back. "No, I will not go with you. I reject you and your world." For a moment, Chimiri's face twisted in fury, her beauty giving way to something more sinister. The air around them grew cold, and the river began to churn violently. Her tail emerged once more, and she lunged at him, her sharp nails reaching for his throat. But before she could touch him, Ederomo held up the charm. The bones of the fish glowed faintly, and Chimiri shrieked in pain. She recoiled, her form dissolving into mist as she slipped back into the water, her voice echoing through the night. "You may have escaped me, Ederomo," she hissed, "but I will never forget. I will always be watching." Ederomo stood by the river, his heart pounding in his chest. He had escaped, but just barely. The charm had saved him, but he knew that Chimiri's threat was real. The river would never be safe for him again. He returned to Hokparabi, shaken but alive. Ogaga was waiting for him, his eyes full of concern. "Is it done?" the elder asked. Ederomo nodded. "She's gone, but she will never stop watching." Ogaga placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have done well, Ederomo. But remember, the river holds many secrets. Be careful, for the spirits are always near." From that day forward, Ederomo never went to the river alone. The allure of the water, once his livelihood, now filled him with dread. The villagers continued to tell stories of the river and the creatures that dwelled within it, but none were as haunting as the tale of Ederomo and the mermaid's deceptive love. And though Chimiri was gone, her presence lingered in the depth of the river, a reminder that some loves are born from lies, and not all beauty can be trusted.